I just started the live video now, and I would like to have some sound confirmation, how the audio is. Yeah, it's fine here. If he cries, bro, I switch him. So let's see. Well, I can hear me. Yeah. Well, now it's gonna wait until we get more viewers to start this live video, and we can answer questions. We can talk about 2024, which is gone already, and we can talk about 2025. Then it's coming. It's around the corner. So, you have any questions, any comments, anything to add? You can do it at any time. I will get to you in the order as I receive it. So just gonna wait until more of you show up and we can start this live video. Or a couple minutes at least 1 minute to pick up the audience. So you can say hi in the meantime. Say hi to everybody. Everybody is watching us. Say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi. Hi. Say hola. Hola, hola. Say la hola. Say hola. Yeah. Hola a todos. Hi everyone. Everyone is watching my video right now. He is 1 year old. So he doesn't understand right now, but he's a year old now, so it's pretty big now. Yeah. How old are you? Wanna tell the audience your age? Say like, I'm 1 year old. All right. Okay. So I suppose that now we can start this video, this live video. As I say at the beginning, para cualquiera que hable español, pueden dejar sus preguntas, comentarios. Este es el último video del 2024. Los pueden hacer en español y voy a responder en español a cualquiera. Y si indiferentemente está hablando en inglés en el momento, voy a hablar en español para responder sus preguntas. So if anybody, any of you have a question, just be sure to have that question ready. You can give it to me. I mean, like you can put it on the comment section below. Anything we can talk about 2024. We're gonna talk about the whole thing, the whole situation that is happening. I mean, in 2025, we're gonna talk about new things, emissions, trucks, and so many things that are changing for 2025. So we can keep ourselves updated with the newest technology, which I am going to continue working. I mean, trucks is what I do, so I want to be giving you more information in the future about trucks. Anyway, so I have let's see a question. That's a question for Elder Ruiz. ¿Qué tal, Francisco? Saludos. Llegamos el lunes para reparación del gearbox. Ok. Aquí estamos, aquí vamos a estar el lunes. Nomás que acuérdense de que vamos a cerrar para Navidad. Así que sería lunes, martes y miércoles. Martes creo yo nomás que vamos a trabajar. Entonces va a ser un poco apretado esos días. La verdad, vamos a tener un poco de ¿cómo se llama? Retrasos para ese día para trabajar. Joshua Hernandez, saludos desde that's Oklahoma, right? OKC, that's Oklahoma. Saludos desde Oklahoma, California, aquí. Saludos, ojalá que todo esté bien por allá y ojalá que la Navidad no sea tan fría por el clima. Ya se pone muy frío el clima. Ya, ojalá que sea muy bueno para todos ustedes. Digamos, Jesús Medina. No, este no. Jesús Medina, hola, buen día. ¿A dónde medio comunicar con usted? Gracias. ¿A dónde se puede comunicar conmigo? Bueno, puede hacerlo por tengo WhatsApp, sí, pero tendría que agarrar mi número. Email o Instagram. Email es más fácil porque puedo ver inmediatamente. En Instagram tengo muchos comentarios a veces, pero me pueden hacer por Instagram. Estoy sacando la mayoría de preguntas que tengo en Instagram. Tengo muchas preguntas ahí que me llegan casi todos los días. Pero de cualquier manera pueden venir aquí al taller. Aquí en Fontana pueden venir en cualquier momento. Si desean un trabajo o algo, pueden venir. Veamos, tenemos Baskat Ahamat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Forever successful one. Hi, my buddy born mechanic. Yeah, he is a mechanic. He even has his British instrument cluster right here. This is basically what he's gonna be using to learn how to work a vehicle app. So this is Fri's real controller of a vehicle. So hopefully he learns how to drive soon. The next one says Joshua Hernandez. Saludos desde Oklahoma. How's the business? Well, I mean, the business is good for us here. I would say. I mean, it's not like extremely busy, but we are busy. We have so many things to do. Actually, we have to end 2024. We have 2 Detroit cylinder heads, 1 Detroit overhaul. I just finished ISCR, 1 box that need to be replaced. We just finished a Cummins ISX 15 overhaul. There is, let me see, also another Cummins, just the overhaul without the head, and all some other jobs. I need to look at them, but yeah, we're pretty busy. We're pretty booked for the month, for the end of the year. We have the whole week, the whole month already booked. But still, we have room for small jobs and here and there. We don't have room for big jobs. If we get any major job right now, probably we have to wait. We have to wait until New Year's probably, because we have too many jobs to get done. But if it's just a quick job, we can do it right away. But business is okay. I don't know how business is on Oklahoma. I know then business isn't the best as it is now. Usually summertime is the best for trucking, and winter time goes a little lower. So it's kind of normal, and especially now, then it's like the new president and everything going on. So I believe it's going to be a little different than other years. So I believe then it's going to be a little tough this end of the year for some of you. But if it's not like that, that's good. I mean, hopefully we can we can say we can make it better for all of you. And then we have Jos Hernandez, best maintenance for DT12. Well, I mean, like, if you have a DT12 transmission, the best way to maintain the transmission is simply by doing replacing the fluids. That's basically all you have to do. DT12 transmission the mechanical components are sort of okay. They're okay, I would say. I haven't seen a DT12 transmission going bad with very low mileage. I mean, I have seen new trucks going like that, but what I mean is like it's not just common to see them. It's most likely to see DT12s running out of oil because of the lubrication lines that go to the front of the truck. They start leaking fluid, and eventually they get damaged. I had a couple of videos about it, and also I see a lot of DT12 clutches going bad. That's pretty much all. I suppose then the best way to maintain your DT12 is by replacing the fluids, inspecting for leaks, and doing the replacing the clutch, and that will help you to maintain your DT12 transmission in a good condition. That's, I think, the best you can do for that. Then driving it, I suppose, then will be another. Hey, no. He's taking his shoes off. I think driving it wise, that's another thing. I mean, whenever you are driving your transmission, automatic transmissions, they tend to do gear shifting very quick, regardless if you are in need of doing the gear shifting. So I think the best way to drive your DT12 is driving manual, especially when you are going on doing traffic times. So that way you know when to do the traffic instead of the transmission doing shifting just randomly. Because sometimes you go like 5 miles per hour and then you go 7 miles per hour, and it will do like 2-3 different gears at the same time, and you are not going to go more than that because the traffic will stop. So that is the time where you have to do it manual instead. So you avoid the clutch use, and you maintain only one gear. So because that also has a lot to do on how long the DT12 transmission is going to last. Okay. Yeah, you wanna add something? Yeah. What you have to say about it? You have something in mind? What else the viewers here can do to prolong the life of the vehicles? Did you know what they can do? Or you are just a baby playing? I think that you are just a baby playing, right? All right. So, but in general, I would say then DT12 transmissions are not really bad. I would say they're not extremely bad. I would say then compared to the Eaton Endurance transmission, DT12 transmissions are just a tiny better than Eaton Endurance. I'm not saying that it's extremely better, it's just a tiny better. It gives a different type of problems, I will say, but it will just, I think, have a better life, the D12. For some reason, at least for the mechanical components, Eaton Endurance have the problem that they just grenade themselves, regardless, like 700,000 miles, regardless if the oil's good or whatever. They start like having problems. I don't know why. Probably I think it's the aluminum housing or something like that. They have so many things, That's the problem that we are facing now with this new, because every time they're doing a new model now, a new year with new emissions, they usually grab a new transmission style, new engine, and that is always something new. So with trucks, it's happening now what is happening with cars. With cars, every time you buy a brand new car, it's a brand new everything. And with truck is kind of like similar. So you buy a brand new truck, it's a brand new everything, and then you buy a different brand new truck, and it has a brand new everything. So it's nothing the same as before, and that's the reason why we face many different problems that we didn't have before. So, which is bad, But that's part of the new technology. Science, EPA, uh, uh, um, and many different agencies are pushing manufacturers to upgrade and do better safety and emissions for the road. So that's the reason why they're replacing components left and right all the time. Okay, let's see. Well, says Fernando Varia. Saludos. Saludos, saludos. Say saludos. Decir saludos, saludos. Hola, hola. Hola, 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 hola. Saludos. Sí, saludos. Decirle saludos. Sí, hola. Hola, decirle. Saludos. Say Joshua Hernandez. The best ballast spec for DD15. Well, I mean, like the specs of every DD15, depending on the year, is always on the valve cover. The valve cover has the specific specs for the different engines, right? EPA 7, EPA 10, GHG 14, GHG 17, GHG 21, and the newest one thing is going to come eventually, which is going to be the future. GHG, I don't know, 25, 27, 26, I don't know. So the ball adjustment setting, you can some people like the lash to be a little tight, and some of them like to be a little loose. Like whenever you do the filler gauge, it can just easily be introduced, or you need to wiggle it around to get it in. So it depends, but I would say then regardless of what you do, I mean, given the clearance with the filler gauge, basically you are doing it right. And sometimes with Detroit's, I would say Detroit's DD15s, sometimes you have to leave a little more clearance, like a little loose. Like I said, you put the lash on, you get a little loose because the DD15 valve train is a little the seats they tend to be pushed up. So whenever you give a tiny extra lash to the adjustment, it will help for to prolong the life of the adjustment. So that way you don't have to adjust it every single 6 months or something, depending. But if you have to adjust your cylinder head valves every 6 months, your cylinder head is bad. But sometimes it happens. So you wanna make your engine last a little longer. You have to give an extra clearance to that latch. But everything depends on the circumstances. If you have no problems with your engine, you don't have to do any of that. You just do the clearance as it is, and you don't have to. He is pretty good in taking his socks off. He got it off. So, and he's taking his other shoes now. He got his shoes off. It's pretty good of taking his clothes off right now. So let me see if I can put his sock back on. But I don't think so without him crying. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, so anyway, now if you have any questions, you can mention these questions at any time. Now I will talk about the new things I have seen for 2025. The new trucks, brand new trucks, 2025 trucks. So far, I have seen like 2025s, and they are way different than 2024s. So the first thing that I noticed with the 2025 trucks is then not only there being emission control now, EPA, CARB, or any entity that controls the air quality, is controlling the emissions, but also they're controlling the idle time, which means then by law, now trucks are going to be limited to 5 minutes of idle time, and to reset that number or to delete that feature, you actually have to, we can say, get the password directly from CARB or from EPA, because EPA is the one that is controlling that. That is something new. I mean, like, that's something very interesting to see and very annoying, I would say, at the same time, because it is not something that you can easily change, right? In the past, any truck that is 2020 and lower, for any reason you bought a brand new truck or you bought a used truck that had either shut down every 5 minutes, you can pay any mechanic like me then has software or the equipment to do the idle update, and you can just delete it, right? I mean, like, ain't that easy. But for 2025 isn't the case anymore. I try to do it. That's the reason why I'm telling you. I mean, like, I experienced it myself. I tried to do the on a Cummins, in this case. It's a Cummins X15 2025. I'll post a video. I did a little video about it. A nice truck, 579, brand new one. And I could change everything, speed limits and everything, but no idle time. Idle time's log. I tried to delete the passwords and everything, and it's not allowed. Cummins software doesn't allow you to delete the specific parameter, which is, as I say, is a little annoying. I mean, like, it's interesting and annoying, right? Interesting because they're trying to control idle time, not only emissions, idle time too. Well, I mean, like, I don't know how expensive that is going to be, especially, or how long it will take for someone to crack that code and open it, like, to give it to everybody, to sell it to someone, so that way we without any need to contact EPA, we can delete that feature. I don't know how long that will take. I'm pretty sure soon. I heard too that 2021, 2022, 2023, Detroit in general, they having trouble, which has nothing to do with EPA, right? But a lot of people is interested on emission deletes on those 2025. Freightliner, Detroit, D13, D15s, and they haven't been able to find the right parameters, the right software to do that. We can say bypass on those. It's kind of interesting because the GSG 21 came out on 2021, right? So 2021 trucks, 2022s, they have the current emission control 2025 still. So and still they haven't been able to crack, which means then Detroit and some other manufacturers are getting even tougher in the way on how the emission controllers are being designed, which means then it wouldn't be easy for someone to just, like, bypass any type of controller module without spending tons of money on cracking that up. It is very hard, I would say, for anyone that is trying to acquire or use that benefit of deleting a truck, right? Here in California, for 2025, 2024, I would say, if you're living here in California, I don't know if you are aware, right? California, CARB, in this case, they started to do emission control inspections. So all the trucks then were 2011 and up, because 2010 and below, they didn't have DEF. So they have soot control, but they didn't have emission control. By 2011 and newer, they have emission control. So those trucks, they are pushing emissions, right? They are targeting different owners of trucks, depending owner operators, company owners, 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3 trucks, depending on the how you call the bingo, we can say, on whatever random number they pick for each truck. So and they tell you to do emission control. So the thing is, like, when it comes to emissions here in California, for Cummins, it's easy. Cummins is easy. Volvo is hard. Detroit is hard. Packard is okay. Max Force, okay. Navistar in this case, I don't want to mention that anyway. But Detroit and Volvo are one of the hardest. The reason why they're the hardest is because they use OBD monitors. Cummins, Packard, if I'm correctly, Packard don't use them too. Cummins and Packard don't use the OBD monitors. Cummins doesn't use them at all. Like Cummins, they have if you use Cummins software, you will see them. There is an OBD section on the bottom part of the software, but there is nothing there. It's empty. So they don't have any type of a monitor control software yet. I'm pretty sure that for the next generation of a GSG, which probably is going to be 26, I would say, they will do OBD control, because CARB and EPA is trying to control how your emission is working. So in cars, like we can say in small cars, in vehicles, passenger vehicles, each vehicle has, I think, 10 monitors. And these 10 monitors are going to inspect different components of the vehicle. So whenever this vehicle has a fault code, one monitor is going to fail, and that is not going to pass the emission testing. So with trucks, because the trucks are now using monitors, it is the same thing. If one fault code appears and affects the specific monitor, that monitor is going to be not ready. It's going to need to be completed to be able to pass emissions. And that's okay, that's understandable. But the problem with trucks, right, is then they took it a little harder. For example, I would say, like, if you have a small car, if you have a passenger car, you bought it brand new from factory, and you drove it 7 years, because after 7 years you have to smoke testing in California. You drove 7 years, and then after you drove 7 years, you need to do the emission testing, and you can go to any place, and if your car doesn't have any check engine lights or any problem, it will pass it right away. You don't have to do anything. You didn't replace batteries, you didn't replace anything, you didn't need any type of repair, and it will pass it. With trucks, it's very different. So if you bought a brand new truck, 2024, like I say, and you're asked in 6 months to do emission testing, it will not pass the emission test. And the reason why it will not pass the emission test is because the emission controller counts the amount of warm-up cycles that are happening on your vehicle. So every time you start the vehicle and you start driving the vehicle, it will warm the system up, which means then the SCR, the DPF, is going to get to operating temperature so it can reduce emissions. So every time that happens, it will count as a 1 cycle. So can you imagine if you turn off the truck, turn it back on, turn it off, and turn it back on, it will count 10, 15, 20 different cycles 30 FM cycles in 6 months, we can say maybe more. That only happens if rigging happens during driving, not if you just start it, right? But the maximum count in California is 5 cycles. But can you imagine how bad that is going to be, right? It is pretty hard for D-trucks. I have done 2020 trucks with 200,000 miles. They don't pass emissions because of that. So you have to clear the huts, you have to send that on a trip, 2,000 miles, more likely, and then they have to come back, and all the monitors gotta be completed, and then you can test it. And if the warm cycle is over 5, it's not gonna pass. So the warm cycle gotta be before 5. So which means then to actually complete the warm cycles on time or within a spec, what you have to do is don't shut the engine off. So just leave it on for at least for the maximum time you can. So look and say, like you do 1,000 miles with the engine running without shutting it off, and then turn it off whenever you get to the city of destination, and then you do another 1,000 coming back, and that would be 2,000. That will be enough to complete all the monitors. So that will be a little hard for many of you, especially for the ones that are local or the ones that go to Vegas, the ones that go like 200, 500 miles every time. It will be hard. But it is very, very, very interesting how they're making it a little tougher for emissions. Because I think the reason why they're doing it like that is because they know that a lot of people will just skip, try their best to pass emissions without doing any tire repair. So they're trying to keep you on check. So then your system is good. So by deleting the faults, then if the system, the cycles, the monitors don't get completed, you have a problem. So that's what they're trying to do. It's going to be a pretty hard. I mean, it is hard as it is now, but they don't have actual control. I would say then they don't just like do smoke testing to every single truck yet. They are trying to do that. And that's the reason why whenever you buy a brand new truck or a used truck, you have to register the truck to CARB. They don't do it. You have to do it. And then after you do it, they will release your license plate and your registration. And that way they can control the vehicle. And that way they can know if you have done emission testing before, and if you haven't, you have to be submitted. You have to submit one, so that way they know your truck is within compliance. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know how it's going to be for 2025 or the next generations, which is going to be the GSG maybe 27, 26, whatever it is. I think it's going to be a little harder than it is right now. So, but as it is, it's not going to be easy. So if you have a truck that is deleted in California, it's going to be a little hard for you guys because you might have to do the smoke testing, a shady smoke testing to pass it up, or you have to take your truck away from California, which means then probably other states are going to take the same measurements. They're going to do smoke testing the same way California is doing, because it is a big deal. I don't know if you have ever heard the news. Emission testing is a big topic. Emission testing is a big topic right now, and I don't know if you heard the news or articles about it. If you have read about the emission testing, and situation is then you want to take because it's crying now. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to cry. You don't want to talk about anymore. He's so boring. Yeah. He's so boring when you want to play. Yeah, I thought you want to work. So you say you are a man now, you want to work. I need to make money. As soon as you come here, you start crying. Like, so what's the deal? Okay. So I don't know what I was saying because I got distracted with him, but I was talking mostly about emission news, right? So a lot of shops, a lot of big shops, a lot of performance shops, and any other emission defeats, that's what they call it, repair shops are being targeted by EPA, are being targeted by CARB, and these and this is a problem because they're getting fines, right? And the fines are not small fines. We talk about like millions of dollars in fines. EPA is not easy when it comes to fines. They really bomb those prices up when it comes to charging people for something illegal, right? And I'm pretty sure then they're going to target any single repair shop. Eventually, they are not going to know what repair shop is doing deletes, right? They're not going to know it, but they're going to investigate what repair shop is doing deletes. And if they catch that specific shop doing deletes, they are going to target and find that shop, and it's going to be a very, very greedy. Yeah. I know. You're leaving now, so. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, baby problems, right? Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to be tagging all the shops. I don't know how long it's going to take for EPA to know which shop is doing deletes or which one is not. But you know, a lot of people, I know some people, and they be posting all those things on social media, and yeah, and okay. Yeah. And social media is the main reason why everybody's getting into troubles nowadays, because they're kind of like exposing themselves as the you know, as the ones that are doing something. Since they're recording and putting everything on their, you know, on the eyes of everyone to see it publicly. So I suppose that nowadays, if you know anybody, anyone, then he's doing deletes, then he's doing emission defeat, you know, anything like that, just tell them to don't post anything on social media. Don't do it. I don't know why people is so out of their mind, and they're, oh yeah, I'm driving this truck with a deleted filter. I mean, like, don't do that. You are going to be the next one. So, and that is going to be a very, very expensive fine. And the ones that are doing deletes over the phone, online, don't post anything. Don't say you are doing a tune. Don't say then you are doing software calibration. Don't say anything. Just do it. Because EPA is targeting every single one of those. They are not going to go after the one that is doing it immediately, but they're going to catch them. So they already, the ones I know, they already did to 4 or 5 different major shops, big shops. Even I think one of the biggest one was the Diesel Brothers, I don't know, in Utah, something like that. That's one of the biggest one. Then was sentenced by EPA, and the newest one is a shop in North Carolina, I believe. Then did something like that. Okay, he's gonna say bye because he's leaving now. So Say bye. 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 Bye.
Yeah. Mama's got you.
Okay, he's leaving now, so we can talk about business now. So yeah, the crybaby's leaving. All right, so bye. So I would just say that, right? That is the newest thing that is happening with emissions on 2024. 2025, I don't think that is going to be is going to be we can say a little easier. That thing is going to be really hard. 2025, I think is going to be. I don't know about the new changes. We can say after the new president. No idea. But you know, everything is about money, and EPA fines are very expensive. So I don't know how that is going to be a factor on taking EPA away and stopping those fines, or charging people in other fees. I think in some way they are going to charge the same amount of money somehow. I think we are not going to be exempt from charge. We're still gonna be being charged something, maybe with a different name, different numbers, different codes, different everything. And that's the way governments get away, right? They just tell you, oh, this is for that, which is the same thing, but now this is the new name. So it's the same thing. But we can see. But anyway, I have when it comes to DPF, SER, and DEF, it has changed from 2025 versus 2024. It changed so much from 2020 to 2021. That was a big change. But now it changed once again, not in a major way, but it changed on the amount of emission reduction. And I heard then for 2027 or something, the amount of emission reduction for diesel engines gotta be cut in half than it is now. So it's going to be a lower limit. And that is the reason why I tell you right now, if you have a 2018, if you have a 2019 truck, and someone comes to your ear and tells you, oh, you have to do a software update to your truck because that's the reason why your truck is not running fine. Don't do that. Don't do it, because whenever you do an emission update to the truck that you own, you are getting the newest calibration, which is going to be 2025 as it is now, and which means then the emission standards are going to be even tighter, which is going to give you more problems. So if you can keep the OEM factory spec calibration, is better because you have the emission standards of that year, 2020, 2018, 2019, 2015, depending on the year of the truck. But if you update the emission standards for the newest one, you are also updating the limits of the emission standards. So don't do that. I usually, whenever trucks come over here and they ask, clients come over here and they ask me, oh yeah, a guy over there told me that my truck is giving me trouble because the software needs to be updated. That's not true. The truck doesn't give you trouble because of the software. The truck gives you trouble because there is a trouble with the system. So there is a emission reduction, things they have problem, a DEF pump that is bad, a DEF filter or something that is bad. But a lot of people think that just because you're gonna do an update, the problem is gonna be solved. That is not the way it works. I don't know why a lot of people are just saying all the time, oh yeah, you have to do the update. A lot of people at the dealer says that, oh yeah, because the update. But it's not the way it is. So if you have to do an update, right, to your truck, which means then you don't have, if you do an update, you don't have to replace any component, right? We can say, right? But they do an update and still replace so many different components and charge you $40,000 to repair a problem, then was worth probably $20,000 if you replace the one box entirely. So that's why I'm just like saying this to you. Don't do emission updates on your truck. Don't do that, because that is going to be even worse than what it is than you have right now. As I say, I mean, like newer trucks are always having newer emission standards, and that is going to we can say be tougher on your pocket. Mostly, your pocket is the one that is going to suffer the most. But anyway, I mean, like when it comes to emissions, that is what I see so far. There is other things that I can talk about emissions, but I would be specific on each brand. I'm trying to be generic right now. I'm going to be general, I would say. When it comes to emission standards, remember that the emission standards for trucks are completely even. Doesn't matter if you have a Cummins, you have a Detroit, or you have a Freightliner or a Kangol. It is the same for all of them. The way how the manufacturer manage their engine management, which is the computer, is going to be different, right? And that's what I was saying. Then in Detroit, it's a little harder to pass emissions versus Cummins. Cummins is pretty easy to pass emissions. So, and that is, like the difference. So depending on the engine management that you have, that is how easy or how hard it's going to be to pass emissions. But I am sure that is going to change for the next EPA upgrade, which is going to be, I don't know, as I say, because they're going to force manufacturers to have monitors, OBD monitors, because the OBD monitors are the one in charge to let you know how bad or how good the system is working, because the OBD monitors are collecting information from different components. And the OBD monitor also tells you how many times a fault code has been active, how many minutes, and if has been active before in a different occasion, and it gives you a freeze frame with the amount of with different numbers, different components, then when recorded with the fault, and that is going to get you the actual problem that you have, and the monitor is just gonna collect that information, and whenever you hook the OBD inspection device, it's going to determine that there is a problem. It's gonna send it to the central emission central, I don't know where that is, to detect what's the problem with the truck, and it will fail the emissions because you have that because of the OBD monitors. And Cummins doesn't have that, which is good. You don't have any type of anything to worry about if you have a Cummins so far yet, because they haven't upgraded, they haven't do the new GSG, so the new EPA. So I think then that is going to we can say change that time, but so far so good. So if you want to buy a Cummins, I think when it comes to emissions, you are okay. So you're fine. You still got to do emissions, but it's not very hard to do the emissions testing on those. And then I will say depending on how you drive your truck, depending on how rough, how hard you drive your truck, that is going to be the major factor how your engine is going, your emission testing is going to fail, or your component is going to fail. My honest opinion to all of you, I do repair emissions. So I see that's me working on trucks, and I do work in a lot of emission systems. And honestly, if you want your emission system to last, don't idle too much. And that's the whole purpose of California putting the idle timer on trucks. Idling time, reducing idle time, which it makes sense, but also you kill other components by starting the truck every time. A starter, the engine is running dry because the lubrication needs to be picked up again, needs to be, the gallery's got to be filled up again. So different things. But if you have a truck that has no idle shutdown, just don't idle too long. I hate, to be honest, I hate when I see trucks parked, running. No one in there. No one. They just running. And what? I accept, then that's okay if the engine is warming up. Okay, that's good. You just start your truck and needs to be, that's good. But, I mean, the truck has been running for 30 minutes, right? And it continues on running, right? Nothing, nobody there, no one is doing anything to the truck, just running. That is killing your DPF filters. Definitely, your DOCs, your SCR, your DEF, every component is getting murder right there, because remember, in order to have a successful conversion of emissions, temperature in the filters. The higher the temperature in the filters, the better conversion you want to have. And that's the reason of the whole point of warm-up cycles. Because whenever there is a warm-up cycle, the emission system is working as is optimal temperature. And that is when it's going to reduce the maximum amount of emissions. So whenever you are idling, you don't reach 600 Fahrenheit of temperature on your tailpipe. The most you reach is like 200 or 300, and that is not enough to start the conversion of emissions. The NOx sensors are not going to be activated if they are lower than 400 Fahrenheit. They are going to be deactivated. And you are not going to, the computer is not going to know how the system is working, because it's going to be in standby mode, just waiting until the system works. So just going to work as, we can say, as a fail-safe mode, in a way then it's going to inject, if it needs regen, it's going, or if it needs to warm up, it's going to inject some fuel so the temperature increases a little. But when it's in idle, it's not going to do much. And that's the reason why some Detroits, whenever you start the truck and you let them idle for too long, eventually the idle races all the way up to 13 RPMs to 1300 RPMs. And that is to warm the filter up, because the ACM, the emission controller, detects that there is an anomaly on the emission system that is not being controlled. So the computer needs to know how the system is working, and that is how it's going to be able to control it. And then the temperature raises up and start detecting everything is working fine. The temperature is going to be dropped and the RPMs are going to be dropped. So it is a very complex situation when it comes to emission testing. And that is the reason why I'm telling you, trucks, I have seen trucks, right, with 500,000 miles with bad SCR box or units, in this case, the SCR units. And that is because idling time, right? So avoid that. Avoid idling. If you don't need to, right? I would say if you don't need to. If you are sleeping in the truck, I would say, and the temperature is like 100 degrees, and you are, in the middle of the desert, and you are asleep, that's fine, right? That's understandable. I mean, you're using that. But if you are talking with your friend and you are in the restroom of the truck stop, right, and your truck is running, don't do that, because you are just killing your truck. And that's my advice to you. Don't idle if you don't need to. Another thing to make your emission system to last, don't force your truck going uphill. I have no idea why some people think that going uphill is like racing. Some truck drivers want to be passing trucks left and right. And why you are doing that? I mean, you're killing your whole truck in general. But the emission system is the one that suffers the most. Usually when you are going uphill, you produce high amounts of pollution, because you are, forcing the engine to produce power. And whenever you produce power, you produce heat. And when you produce heat, you produce emissions, right? And the SCR, which is the one in charge to reduce the emissions, in many cases is not strong enough or capable enough to reduce those emissions. So you want to have the problem, then as soon as you go uphill, the DEF light is going to start flashing, or you want to have a check engine light on or something, because the emissions are dropping. That usually happens when the SCR is bad, when it's going bad. But if it happens every time you're going uphill and there is no other problem and eventually goes away, it's mostly because sometimes you are forcing the truck, or the person then had it before because you bought it used, right? Force the truck so much. So try to take it easy whenever you're going uphill. Drop the gears, go a little gentle on the speed, and that will actually help you to maintain the emission system healthy. Remember, then the successful region happens when the temperature is stable. So whenever you're driving, the temperature gotta be stable enough to pass a region. If the temperature is not stable, it's not gonna pass a region. So and that is the best you can do, maintaining a stable temperature, which means maintaining a stable speed. And in the cabin, it means then you have to maintain one gear. So depending on how your truck is capable to go up 4, 5, 6, 7 gear, depending, right? And the speed limits and everything, depending on how many gears you have on your gearbox and how big your differentials are also, that is the specific gear you're gonna use. Don't pass a specific speed, so that way you can have the maximum amount of power without sacrificing the filter life. But those are advices that I have for you guys to prolong the life on the DPF, DOCs, SCRs. The DEF pump is gonna go bad regardless, because the DEF pump in the newest trucks, any truck that is 2015 and newer, basically are using the same we can say a DEF pump. So as soon as you start your truck, as soon as you turn the truck on and the engine starts running, the DEF pump starts working. So the DEF pump works 24/7 basically. It doesn't stop as long as you have your emission control, the switch on, and the engine running is going to be working regardless. So that is something that you have to understand. So it doesn't matter what you do to your DEF pump, it's going to go bad regardless, because it works 24/7. And the best way to prevent problems with the DEF pump is replacing the pump. And maybe 500,000 miles, 300, 400, maybe after 300 will be the best to replace the DEF pump, because they go bad. Sometimes they don't last more than 200,000 miles, and sometimes I see them lasting more than 700,000 miles. So I think it has to do with the different type of quality of DEF, and the time you leave the cap off. So whenever you are filling the DEF tank and you remove the cap, at that moment you immediately creating crystallization of the DEF, and the DEF crystallization will I don't know if you see it, it looks like kind of like crystal material. So it will stay inside the tank, and some of it can be dissolved by the same DEF, and some of it is not capable to be dissolved by the DEF. So as the pump starts working, that crystallization is going to be sucked by the pump, and the filter, the pre-filter that the pump has, is going to be the one that suffer, and eventually the pump is gonna run dry and it's going to be damaged. So that's something that happens to all the trucks, regardless if you have a Cummins, a Packard, Volvo, Detroit, kind of similar DF pump, so it's not much different on that. Okay, so let's see some of the questions, some of the comments right here. Richard 0713, LOL. Richard 0713, how stupid. Oh yeah, we're talking about emissions. Well, when it comes to emissions, I think that's the best way to say it. Emissions are very, very tough and sometimes stupid. Yes, most of the time stupid. Jos Hernandez, is that just a Freilander thing? Talking about emissions? No, it is just in general. Emissions is general. Even small diesel engines. I think that's the reason why in other countries you're gonna see diesel vehicles, a diesel sedan, a diesel truck, small pickup truck. But in America you don't see them because it's just so rough. So hard to have a diesel engine here because of the emission controls. Let me see. Say Richard 0713. It seems like the newer trucks keep getting sillier and sillier. How silly? Exactly. For me, it is crazy the way they are doing these new trucks, and I think it's gonna get crazier. So I don't think it's gonna get better than it is right now. So that is not gonna be easy for anyone that owns trucks. But as I say, if you have 2020, 2018, 2017, whatever truck you have, don't do emission, calibration. Don't do software update, whatever you wanna call it. Don't do that. Because the newest emissions are going to be applied to your vehicle, and that is going to be very bad. So just keep it the way it is and fix it, and you will see it will work. To be honest, whenever I repair trucks, whenever a truck comes with a emission controller problem, I never do a software calibration. I have never done a DPF cleaning. To be honest, I did a couple times in the past, but nowadays the new filters are better. So I never take the filters off and send them to a place to get them cleaned. Because I see when a filter is bad and I see when it's good. So instead, I prefer to, if you want me to clean the filter, I will do it with the computer. It will save you so much money. And if it's bad, it's just better to replace it. I can see when it is bad. I won't just tell you, oh yeah, we need to clean it and it will be okay. No. If a filter is bad, it's bad and you cannot reuse it. So, and that's something that and that's for all the brands, Cummins, Packard, Detroit. Whenever they're bad, you have to replace it, regardless of how many times you clean it, regardless of what shop you go, regardless of what they do. Remember that the DPF filter, whenever you clean the filter, it's gonna pass the back pressure check because you don't have an engine that is pressurizing the gases with the whole force of the 500 horsepower pushing that filter, and that's gonna create a lot of back pressure going uphill with 40,000 pounds. Whatever, 80,000 pounds, whatever you're hauling, that is going to create a lot of back pressure. A person over there doing a cleanable filter, they don't have that. So how they wanna know if it's good, right? They won't know. So that's the reason why I'm saying I prefer to replace them if I see something wrong. But you need to know when they're bad or when they're good. And the way you know is by visual inspections and the way they're working with the computer. It's not just like seeing. Sometimes you are able to see them and they're bad whenever they're bad, but you also have to double check. So let's see. Richard 0713, Dan emission trucks. Yes, I don't think that is something good now. It's going that emission control thing is just bad. Anyway, Eduardo Arroyo, I recently changed the steer axle wheel hub, and now My steering wheel shakes and moves a lot. Maybe what happened on that truck is then maybe the bearing it moved. Maybe it will happen. Maybe you should check the bearing because it doesn't make sense, to be honest. You replace the hub. Oh, okay. Okay, so okay, I understand now. Okay, yeah, check the bearing clearance. I mean the tolerance if it has any play, and if not, check your drums. I don't know if you have drums or this, right? But check them. Usually, whenever you remove them, sometimes they hammer those components, and when they do hammer those, they get out of balance, and it causes that problem. So you might have to replace those, or the brakes are not completely equal when it comes to rotation. But remember then, if it wasn't shaking before, something that was done is the problem. And most likely, I believe then the drums could be the problem if you have brake drums in the front. But I'm not sure. I mean, okay, if you have brake discs, probably that could be the reason too. Sometimes they need to, hammer something, like slightly touch it with something, and that could bend metal and cause vibration in a very small amount. Okay, that one guy, nice soccer hair, Francisco. Yes, my soccer hair. Huh? Well, I mean, I have a long hair now, and I don't know if I wanna get a haircut. But eventually, probably I'm gonna get it. So not sure. It's about time now, I suppose. Richard 0713 LOL. Richard 0713. These emission trucks stop you from making money and your company and for your family. Yes, exactly. Emission trucks are very hard to maintain, especially if you have an emission truck and you, any truck that is 2011 and newer is emission, right? So, and you go to a shop, then they kind of don't know about the system. You lose a lot of money. They wanna make you waste a lot of money. So it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. You will be required to test your semi truck 2 times a year, starting in 2025. Starting in 2025 January. This consists on OBD scan, anything 2013 and up, anything older, you will require to conduct a smog. That's called an opacity test. Yes, it is true what you're saying, Chris. It is true. They were saying that on 2024, then you will be required to do that for the emission testing. But hopefully they don't enforce it on 2025 because it's gonna be hard. I heard some owner operators told me then even though then they don't have California license plates. When they go and deliver lots to warehouses in California, they're required to have the smoke testing. I'm not sure how that is, if it's true or not, but I heard in different, at least two different, from 2 different owner operators, I heard that already. So we'll see how that goes. It's kind of like very, very bad. Crispy Chris, smoke test and visual inspection. Yes, I think that right now, I think what I kind of, I would say, kind of hate about California doing the emission. I mean, I kind of like don't hate it, but kind of like don't get it, kind of like that. When it comes to the emission testing, right? Anyone in general, like you can be a car wash guy, and if you pass the test to be emission tester for California, you find, even though you don't know anything about trucks, even though you don't know anything, you still can have your license to pass trucks. And that kind of like makes me think that that's not the way it's supposed to be, because a lot of people won't know what they're looking at and think that something is bad and fail that truck because they don't know. There's, oh no, it doesn't pass the emission because of this, right? So I think that's not the way. At least they have to have some kind of background when it comes to automotive knowledge, right? Something, at least they went to school, at least, you know, something. I think California took it. It is good, and they doing it. I don't think they doing it wrong, because they kind of like giving to the opportunity to everyone, which is good. I think that is fine, but just because everyone can do it doesn't mean that everyone has to do it, right? They have to know who can do it and who cannot do it, and that's the reason why whenever you go and like I did a live video in October, I went and I talked to Carp, and that people doesn't want to talk to you if you have a question, right? If you are, oh, you know why they're getting fines, why they don't want to talk to you, because it's just people. They're not people that are into the business. They're not people that know how the business works, how the trucking business is, and everything. No, it is just random people from random places coming and telling you what you need to do when they don't know anything about it, about this industry. And that's what's making it harder when it comes to truck emissions. Hopefully they can do something, at least for the testers. Maybe the people inside, well, I mean, that's something that we cannot do, but for the testers outside, like me and some others, at least to have some background. So, hey, you know what? Bring the truck over, let me see, it passes, it can pass emissions, or it cannot pass emissions. I can tell you without, you know, doing anything, or I can see, you know what, this is okay the way it is, but someone then doesn't have that knowledge, it will just fail you for any single thing they think or the book says is bad. So even though they don't know what it is, if the book says it is there, but they don't know how it looks like, oh, but it's supposed to be that, okay, it fails. Really bad. Hopefully they can fix that. Let's see, Crispy Chris, California only. Well, yes, when it comes to emission testing, it's California only so far. But California only is enforcing smoke testing, but EPA nationwide is enforcing smoke compliance. So any shop that is doing emission defeating repairs, they're being targeted by EPA. Or at least that's what I know. Hopefully it's not like that, because it's very expensive. Richard 0713, California should really be worried about there are coming earthquakes, no emissions. Yes, exactly. I mean, there is other matters that need attention, but remember then emission controls for trucks is a virgin industry. It's a industry that was not explored, there was nothing before this started. So which means that they can extract as much money they can from this industry, because it's a new industry for California and federal too. Eventually it will be. So of course they already found you know, the gold mine, so they're gonna take as much as they can, and that's the reason why they putting new laws, new enforcement, new this, new that, putting people here, putting people there, so that way they can take as much money they can from these emission compliance components. And it's really bad, but I mean that's the way business works, right? I mean, that's the problem when government and corporations get together, and you know what's next. Let's see, Richard 0713, Equer proof your California, leave us truck drivers alone, and we also need to make money. Yes, also that's true. I would say then California truckers are the ones that are moving the the market, right? I mean, the train is a very important factor when it comes to moving loads, moving payloads, moving everything. But trucks are way faster, and they can be way faster on the liver. I can say you can go from point A to point B way faster than the train, and that's the reason why I think truckers gotta be how can say rewarded a little more because yes, I mean it's a very important industry. We have all these. I have my printer, I have my TV, I have everything because someone in a truck dropped it off, right? That's the way it works. But a lot of people doesn't understand it that way. A lot of people think that I have it here and I don't care how it got it here. So it is just here. So let's see. Joshua Hernandez. So don't run any software updates on 2019 and newer. And well, I mean, okay, Joshua Hernandez on any truck in general. Software updates. There is. I'm not saying that software updates are bad, right? I'm just saying that software updates are going to be tougher on your emission system if you have a problem. So if you if for someone that wants to do it, hey, I'm not stopping you. You can do it, right? But in any truck in general, any truck that is 2014 and newer has OBD system. GSG 14 in this case, EPA 14, and many other different names they call it. OBD system on trucks, or they're required to have OBD system at least for Detroit. So if you get an emission update, you're basically gonna get the newest version. So let's say like you have a 2016 truck, right? And I wanna do your your software update to the three important modules: CPC, MCM, ACM. And I want to look for the newest upgrade that you have for that truck. So if you have 2016 truck, probably the newest upgrade is going to be 2020 upgrade. So I do that. So now I want to have emission standards for 2020, not for 2019. And which means they are going to be a little lower. If you have a problem, it's going to be harder to pass region. It's going to be harder to clear the faults. It's going to be, because that's the way onto 2020 are, right? I mean, that's the way. So if you keep 2016, it's going to be a little easier because I have experienced that myself, right? I to be honest, I had one truck, a day cab, 2016 truck, then had a D-rate, low conversion. And I did a region, I did the SCR conversion test, and it didn't pass it didn't pass it at all. So, and of course, because it had the newest software. So I decided to like downgrade the software to the OEM, right? To the OEM plan, the factory spec, how it comes from factory. And after that, it passed all the tests, right? So that's what I mean. I mean, like, it will be harder for you to repair it. Doesn't mean that it cannot be repaired. It is just, I'm just saying that you're going to spend more money on trying to repair that, which makes no sense, I would say, because you're paying to upgrade the system, to do the emission, the software update, and then you're paying to repair it. So just repair it straight up, I would say. Let's see. Marco Santoval, true for referee unit, to be California compliance. Yes, I think reefers were one of the first when they started to have some kind of like regulations. But yeah, yes, any diesel engine off highway, on highway, passenger, commercial, or public, or whatever that is required to have an emission tester, emission conversion, emission diagnostic, whatever is required to have now. So You can have a motorcycle with one cylinder and still will have a SCR and DPF and all that, because they want that to be a thing. Any single engine have to have that hooked up to it, which is bad, because now you cannot buy a scooter without a catalytic converter, we can say. Marcos Sandoval, who's CARP CEO, I have no idea and I don't care, I will say. Regardless of who is the CEO of CARP, oh, maybe you're saying it because they're killing the CEOs. I remember now. Oh man, the healthcare CEO, I remember that. So, well, I mean, like, probably after a while, nobody will know who he is because someone will target him the CEO. I don't know how it is. But anyway, I mean, like, I don't care who is the CEO. I suppose that regardless of who the CEO is, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be bad. Just stupid things happen here and there when it comes to emissions. But hey, we have to deal with that. So suck it up and just continue. And that's what they want to say to us. Well, I mean, like, this video has been 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. So if you have anything else to add to this video, you can do it now, because I want to be ending this video soon. Any questions or anything, or just comments, anything in general, I suppose. I don't care if it's good or bad. I mean, it's your opinion, so it's what it is, right? Your opinions matter, so just do it so that way we can finish 2024. And as I say, this is the last video of 2024, and this is basically the way we wanna end this year, with a lot of trucks that needs to be emission tested, and with California that is trying to emission test every single truck that is coming in, and with a higher emission standards every single year. Sounds like fun, and hopefully they kind of like give some kind of like rebates for all the people. Things I would say, like, I just recently replaced a SCR one box on a 2020 Cascadia, 500,000 miles, right? And the cost of that repair, new SCR box, new DPF filters, new NOx sensors, new temperature sensors, new soot sensor, the C clamps also new, a DEF injector, no, a new SCR wiring harness, and that came up to a total with labor and everything around like $17,000. Almost the $18,000 with all those components new. With some other components that I don't remember, but that is extremely expensive. That is almost the cost of a full engine overhaul for a DD15 engine, which is crazy. So yes, so that is the new thing. I don't know how the newest 2021, 22, 23 SCR one box are going to be, how expensive they're going to be, because I haven't replaced one of those yet. But I'm curious to see how expensive those are, and when the time comes, I will let you know, so that way you prepare if you are planning to buy 2021, 22, 23, 24, or 25. And 25 is going to have DD13 as a standard on all the platforms, short nose and long nose for D3s. And I think the X12 is going to be standard too for the Cummins. I'm not sure, but they're trying to reduce the engine size, and that way they can increase the fuel economy and reduce emissions. Okay, Marcos Sandoval, I see your question. What is DEF inducement? That is a sad question. It is a sad question because that is so much to discuss on that. We have little time right now, but I will give you the best answer possible. DEF endorsement, that is basically what you can see right now, right there, right? The lights flashing the same, the way they are, except for the region light. The region light is not gonna be on. So the region, DEF endorsement and region, they have nothing to do. So whenever you have a truck and you take it to a shop and you have a DEF endorsement light on, and someone tells you, oh, you need to clean your DPF filters, don't do it. It's not gonna solve your problem. It's not gonna solve your problem. DPF and DEF, in this case, in combination with SCR, they're completely different components. They are hooked together, but they don't work in the same manner. DEF, remember, DEF is the one in charge to reduce emissions with the SCR filter. So in combinations with the catalyst of the SCR and the fluid of the DEF, emissions are dropped in a high percentage. DPF, the only job of the DPF is to stop the black carbon, the black soot, the black fumes that you see. That is the only job of the DPF. So when you have a DEF inducement light, you have a problems directly with emission reduction. The DEF inducement is going to target DPF pump, NOx sensors, SCR temperatures, not DPF temperatures, SCR temperatures, and conversion, emission reduction. So those components are going to be controlled or inspected by the inducement, right? And whenever that is not within a spec, it's gonna give you the fault code. But usually when you get DEF inducement, you are on the last stage of the rate. Freeze, you are going to get a fault code depending on the fault, depending on the problem you have. Let's say DEF pressure low, right? That's the fault code, that's the fault, that's the problem. Then, if you don't fix it, you're gonna get the second stage, which is going to be check engine light, like CEL inducement. CEL inducement basically is going to tell you then you have a problem that needs to be addressed, needs to be fixed as soon as possible. The next one is going to be DEF inducement. The DEF inducement is going to reduce the power and reduce the speed of the truck if you haven't fixed the problem. And then the last one, which is the one then stops everything, is the stop engine or CSEL inducement. And that is going to limit your truck 5 miles per hour. It's going to destroy the whole power of the truck. And in some cases, in very major cases, it's going to shut the engine off, right? So 5, maybe like 30 seconds after you start the engine, it will shut off. So those are the stages basically on how that works. But DEF inducement, it is a fault that happens for other fault. So DEF inducement is not the fault. It is the protocol, we can say. The protocol the computer is going to follow if you don't repair the fault. So in some cases, there are trucks that have no other light, no other problem, and they have DEF inducement, and stop engine inducement and check engine light inducement. But in many cases happens, then whenever you go to a shop, because I have seen that people take their truck to a shop, and as soon as it gets to a shop, the first thing a mechanic does, delete fault codes. And once you delete the fault codes, you ended up having a DEF inducement light, then cannot be corrected because there is no fault anymore. So before you delete fault codes, screenshot it, take picture, so that way you can record that what was the problem, so that way you can fix it. Otherwise it will be hard. Because I have taken so many different jobs here in my shop, then are with those lights on, and there is nothing. And to fix those are very hard. It's possible to fix it, but it's very hard. Just labor is intensive when it comes to fix those problems, especially for 2021 in newer trucks. It is crazy how long you have to spend to get them out of that stage. So as I say, if you don't want to have a DEF inducement on your truck, fix whatever problem you have with your emission problem before it gets into a stage, because once you get into a stage, you're done, especially if you're very far. You are going to be in a very, very slow speed, and you won't be able to drive. And that's the whole point. That's the reason why they do it. So that way you don't continue on driving your truck. Let's see. And we have Jos Hernandez say how to control carbon output after software update. What do you mean, carbon output? Talk about the amount of soot that you are releasing from the SCR, from the DPF. Mostly trucks that are 17 and newer, they have the soot sensor. Some of them have the ammonia sensor, depending on the manufacturer. And those, okay, black smoke, okay. The black soot, basically, whenever you do, but the question is like, you have a OEM software, you have a emission standard, or is deleted? I mean, because it shouldn't be throwing smoke at all if it's with the DPF from factory, because that's the point of the DPF. The DPF is to stop the whole carbon soot from leaving the SCR, the one box, or the DPF filter. Yeah, okay, bypass. Yeah, okay, that. Okay, look, if it throws a lot of smoke, usually, or either I have seen them sometimes whenever they do the update. Okay, I get you now. That's how they say it. So I mean, I just get confused sometimes. Okay, sometimes when they do this ACM update, they do use different type of parameters that are not right. I have seen, like today I had a truck, I would say, I was working in the morning, and it had the same thing. It had the update, but for some reason the computer was reading these temperatures right here, exactly those temperatures. Those temperatures were over 1,000 all the time, regardless on if the engine was running or not. So that made the engine, the truck, to overfuel the system, because the computer thinks the truck is in regen mode all the time because of the update, right? The update is not, the update is telling the engine computer then it is in a regen mode. In a regen mode, it's going to, do more heat. It's going to create more heat all the time. So okay. So I had to do a new calibration. I fixed that calibration, and after I fixed the calibration, I got the right readings that I need to see, the right temperatures and everything. So and the truck was able to stay into region or stay out of region. Before it was not. Before it was just in region full 24/7, which means that it was overfueling, which translate then you're gonna have a lot of black smoke. Sometimes the tunes, the upgrades, they're not the right for the trucks, and I see a lot of people doing this to the trucks. They don't care. They just like wanna charge. They wanna be paid, and they don't care how good or how bad what it is what they're doing. So I would recommend you to get that inspected. Maybe that could be the reason why you throw smoke, and also if you have a functional EGR or a functional parameter of EGR, all those parameters you have to check, and if they're bad, you need to do something. Maybe that can help you. More than that, it needs to be like inspected. But when it comes to problems like this, yeah, they're very hard, very tough, but it's possible to fix them. But anyway, all right, so it is 3. So 95 minutes so far, 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, well, it was good to be with you guys for this end of the year. We can say 2024. Hopefully 2025 will be better. So next year, which is going to be a couple of weeks from now, I'm going to be doing a new live video and introduce you to the new things that probably I'm gonna be doing, or maybe the same. I have no idea. I haven't think, so I just gonna relax. This end of the year, it's been a very busy year for me. I have, to be honest, tomorrow I have to go to work. There is a truck that I need to go and check, and I didn't have time the whole week. So I have to do it tomorrow. So I have no days off. Sometimes I do, but I use it to work out, stuff like that. But anyway, that's how it is. So hopefully we can do something for next year. Can get something done. I don't know. We can see what we can do for next year, 2025. Okay, let me see. GT Gold, could you make a video about all options in DDL software? I might be able to do a video on how to use the DDL software. There are many things you can do with the DDL software, and but those things are going to vary depending on the year of the vehicle you're working. Some of the vehicles have different options, and some of the vehicles have other options, and also the equipment of the vehicle, right? The equipment of the truck, there is different options you can do. But when it comes to engine, cabin controllers, and emission controllers, they're pretty much equal, except for the emission standards from the years, right? Yeah, I might be able to do something like that. It will be a little boring video, I will say. Because explaining liter by liter is pretty hard, and I need to have a truck to explain you what to do, especially a truck with a fault. I think that will be the best. Having a truck with a problem, so I can show you how to guide yourself into solving situations, and not just seeing the fault, like digging into where you can see. Yeah, maybe too. Yeah, I'll find a way on how to do that. It's pretty hard nowadays. I cannot do most hand videos, like hand-on videos, because I'm very busy most of the time. Or either I'm working, getting parts, working in the office, working on bills, thinking on how to solve problems, or talking to customers. There is too many things to do. But I'm trying my best to keep it going, and I'll see how I can manage to do all that. Let's see, Richard 0713, thank you, Francisco. You're trying to help us. Yes, I'm trying to help you guys. Trying my best. I know I am not the best, and I do mistakes here and there. And I also don't. I'm not able to answer every single comment that each and one of you leave me there. But I'm trying my best. I'm just trying my best. It's pretty hard, but it is just what it is. I mean, like sometimes it's easy, sometimes hard. But if you wanna have something, it gotta be hard, right? Nothing is easy in this life. Let me see. Joshua Hernandez, gracias por todo. Dying breed. Samuel Joshua Hernandez, yes. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. Try my best, as I say. A lot of people doesn't want to work the same way I'm doing right now. I think the new era of computers are making mechanics a little softer, and they think that just because they know computers they can solve every problem, and that's not the way it is. I'm telling you, computers don't talk. They don't talk, and even if they were able to talk, probably they will be like females. I would say they will say, "What?" Like whenever you ask a female, well, "Do you have something?" No. You wanna tell me something? No. If something happened to you, so that's pretty much the way they're gonna be. So, or any kid in general, they are like that too. So that way they don't. If my wife is seeing this video, don't hate me. I would say that. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. GT Gold, thank you in advance. Richard 0713, I used to have a 2014 Scadia, and your videos used to help me a lot. Thanks. Nice. That's good. And Joshua Hernandez, just like females. You said it. I didn't say it. Hopefully, my wife is not seeing this, and probably she wanna try to talk to me about this later. All right. So I'm done. So I'm done with this video, and next year when I have more videos. I'm working on so many other videos. Trying to explain mostly like the same way I'm doing these videos right here. I mean, I don't have time to do field videos in this case. I'm too busy. Sometimes I do them here and there, but don't have much time nowadays. But I'm trying to give you the most what you need to know, and that's the most important part of it. And see, that's what I'm seeing. See, Cummins emission solutions. So Cummins. See, that is a Detroit EDF injector, and it is a Cummins component. So they're using the same components. But if you go and buy a Detroit, it's less expensive. You go buy a Cummins, it's more expensive. Same thing, but with different prices. Okay, hope you like this live video, and hopefully I can see you for 2025 live video, January live video, and hope you guys have a great day, and you guys have a great Christmas and New Year's. And if you are a truck driver, I know you're gonna be over the road. And that is part of the holidays spirit, I suppose. Just keep it up, that's the way it is. Sometimes we have to work, even though we don't want to, but that's life, right? We need to work, and that's the reason why I'm here. I'm trying to help, right? Like trying to give you information. You wanna come to the shop, come over. But if you don't wanna come to the shop, I have all my videos to help you out. Maybe you can do something about it, and if you cannot do something about it, at least you try, and that's more important than anything else. Joshua Hernandez, need more field videos. Make time. Hope you have a good 2025. Lots of business. Yeah, I'm trying. As I say, I mean, like, I like to do field videos. I like to do that type of videos. I like those videos because I really think that is the best way to make them. To give the best information, because I guide you step by step. But I have to take the time, and sometimes I need that time to finish some of the stuff. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, okay, what else, right? So, but it's possible. I need just to find a way on how to synchronize everything and how to put it on the right schedule to make it. Probably on Sundays I can do that. I can make it happen. But at least I can make one a month, one a week, depending on how it is, right? Well, this is all for you guys. I'm tired now. And anything else? Who's my editor? That's me. I do everything. I mean, you see this 100, that's 100% me, right? I mean, it's not 100 years, it's like 100 me. So that is me. I mean, I do everything. That's the reason what I like to share, right? My opinion, because I do everything from repairs, diagnostic, invoicing, parts picking, and everything, video recording, editing, and everything else, right? I do it myself. And I think that's the best way. If I want to be a boss, right, I have to be a boss, right? I cannot be sitting here if I am just someone that doesn't know anything. I'm sitting here because I know what others can do, and I know what I can do. So, which means then if someone else cannot do something, I can take over and do it at any time. And I think that's the definition of a boss, instead of someone that is just sitting on the desk receiving customers and talking about warranties, right? I think that's the definition of a boss. So, and that's something that is gone, almost gone nowadays. But this is me right now. So I am here. And that's the reason why I have no time, right? Because I am always focusing on all the stuff and here and there. I have to finish one thing right now. I have to finish this, and then I have to do another, which literally I have to go do something right now. And I need to finish this video because it's getting late. I need to go and do something else. And before this, I was finishing some other trucks and some other problems. Then I have time to figure out some of the problems, fixing those problems, and synchronizing on what everything is going to be looking like on Monday. So because Monday is going to be a short week, a very short week. So and then the next Monday as well. So, and that's the whole thing. I mean, synchronizing, putting everything together, and that's the reason why I'm like, yeah. But yeah, 100% me right here. So, all right. Thank you for all the questions. Hopefully you guys can prepare more questions for live video of 2025. And that's pretty much it. I mean, like, I don't have to say too many times bye, right? To say bye, I can just leave and never say bye, right? So I already said, as I say, the one that says bye too many times doesn't want to leave, something like that. I say so it's time for me to leave. And GT Gold, thank you for all the help to immigrants like us. Well, we all, I mean, I count myself there, so we all are. So we have to help each other. I mean, somehow, I mean, like, I help you, someone else help me, and that's the way it works. Man, you guys stop with the questions right now. Have you ever heard of Cascadia roof leaking? Yes, I mean, Cascadias have that problem. Then leak But sometimes it's the clearance lights on top, sometimes the windshield, sometimes are the glue, then are put the fiberglass glue, then goes on the roof, that leaks. So it's a defect sometimes, and to fix that could be a little harder. So probably you have to go up there and put glue, silicone on the little lines you see in the middle of the cabin. There is some lines. Those are different panels. They are glued together, so you have to put glue on those. And the clearance lights sometimes leak, and sometimes the windshield. But if it's leaking from the top, yeah, it's going to be that. All right, bye. No more questions. Let me cancel this. See you 25, and thank you for watching. I'm leaving now, otherwise I won't be leaving. Bye. Yes, I'm leaving.